Underseher, and 88 years old. I live in Leeds, South Dakota now.
And what's your first name?
Art, Arthur,
Arthur? Okay.
yeah,
Okay, so what year did you go into the CCC and how old were you?
1935 or 36. I was 15. I was supposed to be 17, but I lied my way in.
You're another one who lied
Yeah.
your way in. It seems like half the CCC lied their way in.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so what made you lie to get in the CCC?
Well, there was hardships in the family, well, not much money. We moved from the farm into town, and I got out of the 8th grade, and then I had nothing to do, so I went into the service, into the CCs.
CCC.
Yeah,
And how was it?
it was beautiful.
What made it beautiful?
Everything.
Like what?
Well, good scenery, and you learned a lot. You learned a lot. There was a lot of boys that learned some places to keep their mouth shut when they should have. And our officer, we was out at Sydney, Montana, and the two guys from camp, they was always arguing. So the officer, he went up, he got a pair of boxing gloves. He said, "All right, you either put up or shut up."
Did they put up?
Yeah. One guy, he got hurt. He learned to shut up. So, we had a stand rivalry just like the Army did. We had a stand for our evening and morning, and we had to keep our shoes polished and our beds, and by our bunks, our floor polished, and our beds made up decent for inspections every day. And we had a good time. I had a very good officer at Sydney, Montana. His name was Lieutenant Vandal. And he was just one good guy. And my brother-in-law said when he was in the service over in Italy, he run into him over there. And he was a 4-star general then. He went from second Louis up to 4.
Second lieutenant he was when you saw him?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
So how long did you stay in the CCC?
Well, I was in from until spring of March of '40, and I was in CC's at Sydney, and then I had a fire in Black Duck in International Falls in Minnesota, so they shipped a bunch of us over there, and by the time we got to Brainerd, Minnesota, they had the fire contained, so they put us in camp at Mille Lacs Lake in Minnesota. So we had a nice camp there, and then we was there for a couple of years, or a year, and then the National Guards kicked us out of there. And then we had to make a new camp up at Jacob Park at Carlton, Minnesota. We had a tent, and then we built a camp. And then we no more got that built, and then they sent us down to Alcester, South Dakota.
To where?
Alcester.
That's
Yeah.
East River?
East River.
Okay.
Was, yeah. Alcester. And they had a sub camp down at Vermilion at the nursery down there. And then I was down there, and then they sent us back to Alcester, and we was putting in stock dams and shelter belts for the farmers.
Seems like you just kept working. Huh?
Work.
Was that a good thing?
It's good. It should be yet, because there's a lot of guys running around and just getting into trouble all the time. This is a good education. You could learn typing, you could learn carpentry, you could learn mechanic, anything was good for you to learn something.
Did you go from when the war broke out? Did you wind up going into service?
Well, I called in and I went to Fort Snelling. Me and my twin brother went down to Fort Snelling. He got sent home the same hour we got down there. They kept me a week down there, and I finally got mad, and I said, "Now what's the matter?" I said, "I got a wife to support," and I said, "I got a job," and I said, "And if I don't get back to my job, somebody else is going to have it." And I said, "Who's going to support my wife?" I said, "You either take me or you turn me loose so I can get back." So finally they turned me loose. I said, "Now what's the matter?" "Oh, we found scar tissue on your lungs
Oh, really?
from asthma." I
From
said,
what?
"Take you asthma."
Asthma?
They said, I said, "Take you all that long to find that out?"
So you wind up not having to serve.
I didn't have to serve, but my brother that was in Camp Badger and the CCs before I was, and he got taken into service right away, but he got killed in the Battle of the Bulge.
Where?
Battle of the Bulge.
Battle of the Bulge?
Yeah,
That was a rough one.
yeah. Yeah, my twin brother, he was in the CCs, but he was up in Medicine Lake, Montana. We were in two different camps, and we went up there and played ball with them, and we beat them 7-0. So we didn't stay for supper.
Hold on a second. People are annoying me with their speaker there. All right, last question. How important do you think it is to have this museum?
It is. It is very nice. I just love the idea. Years ago, I'd go by here. I'd go down here and go fishing. They had a zoo down here years ago. And every time I'd come by here, I just they should have something for the CCs. And here it is.
So it's like a dream come true then, huh?
Dream come true.
Good for you.
The woman, the short woman, she had a farm up in the hills, and she had a bunch of rock up there. And we went up there to get some rock for the riprap down in the valley. And she said, "You don't touch some rock." She said, "We don't get no water up here. You don't get no rock." So she says, and she had a shotgun, sawed-off shotgun. She said, "You try and touch him." She said, "I'll use it."
So you didn't touch it?
So we didn't touch it. We went back without a load. And I tell you, it was something you'd think about. And we did a lot of rip wrapping and all over and irrigation ditches, clean them out.
And say it again. What are you doing? Rip wrapping?
Rip wrap.
What is that?
That's where you, like on the side of the road, you get a load of rock and then you place them on the side. You see a lot of this on the side of the hills.
Like for erosion?
Erosion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, and then we had a big dam out there south of Sydney, Montana, toward Savage, where the water dropped down, and instead of erosion going down the creek, we had a big, like a big dam or culvert that was all rip-wrapped where the water hit that and then it wouldn't wash out,
Uh-huh.
you know. And so,
A lot of good.
oh yeah, there was a lot of good work. And you could learn anything. One thing about it, you could take up typing, you could take up carpentry, you could take up cooking, you could take up mechanic, whatever you wanted. It was good for you. And that's what it should be today, so these kids wouldn't be so running around getting into trouble.
What did you do for a career in your life after World War II?
Well, when I got back home, they had another project, the government project in my hometown was the NOIA, National Youth Administration. And so we went to work in my hometown. We had a kind of a creek run through the town, and we built a bridge across that little creek, and on a little shoulder on the other side, we built a log cabin. They're using it for a library now.
Still around, huh?
It's still around.
Wow. So I guess you feel proud about that?
It's good.
Good. Okay.
They used that little bridge for a lot of marriage pictures. People get married, and they stand on that bridge and take it.
Excellent.
It's beautiful.